lesson, we're going to take a look at the half-whole diminished scale. This is a great scale to use over functioning dominant chords to add some outside notes not usually found in the chord. Before we get into it, let's just go over what the scale is. It's called the half-whole scale because it alternates between half steps and whole steps all the way up the scale. The intervals are root, flat 9, sharp 9, third, flat 5th or sharp 4, 5th, 6th, flat 7th, and then back to the root. Here's the scale played in 2 octaves in the key of G. Now what's cool about diminished scales and diminished chords is that they're symmetrical, which means you can move the same scale up a minor third and you get an inversion of the same notes. So if I play G half-whole diminished here, I can move it up a minor third and get the same combination of notes just in a different order. And up another minor third, and finally another minor third. So this means any lick you come up with using the scale can instantly be moved around to 3 other positions on the fretboard. Now I like to use this scale to transition from the 1 chord to the 4 chord in a blues. The track that I played at the beginning alternated between G7 to C7, and I used the G half-whole diminished scale to transition from the G chord to the C chord. That backing track is available on my Patreon page if you'd like to download it. The link is in the description. So the lick I'm going to show you today in this first position starts on the flat 9, which is A flat, and then moves down through the scale to G, the root, F, the flat 7, E, the 6th, and then it jumps down to the flat 5, D flat, then up to the 5, D, and then down the scale from the 3rd. So B, A sharp, the flat sharp 9, then A flat, the flat 9, and then finally lands on G, and that's where we resolve to the 4 chord. So that G is actually a chord tone, the 5th of C7. So that lick goes from G7 and then resolves to C7. So now we can take this same lick and move it up in minor thirds through our 4 inversions. And we get 4 different variations of the same idea. And what's cool is they all resolve to a different note of the C7. C7 is made up of 4 notes: the root, C, the 3rd E, the 5th G, and the flat 7th B flat. So by moving through these inversions, we can resolve to any of the 4 notes of that chord. So here I'll play through the 4 inversions, just using that exact same fingering on the same strings, just moving it up a minor third. So now we can take these 4 inversions that we have and find them in each position. So I'm going to play through the 4 inversions, but I'm just going to stick to this first position down here. And that'll force me to play some of the inversions on lower string sets. So now that we have these new fingerings, we can move these around in minor thirds and get even more variations on this same idea. Here I'll move up 1 minor third and cycle through these 4 different fingerings, but up 1 minor third from where I played it before. So as you can see, there's a lot of ways to break up this scale, and you can really get a lot of mileage out of just one simple idea. The solo that I played at the beginning, I used a few different inversions and played in different positions, the same idea to transition from the 1 chord to the 4 chord. So the tabs and notation for that solo will all be available to download on my Patreon, and that's a great way to support this channel if you haven't already joined. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.